Previously on Talk That Talk.
That way. Categorizing music that way. Not saying that we can't be different. We always have been. And that's great. But I have a problem with this musicianship is boring narrative. And it seems to always come from the southern part of the country. I think that Dante presented a really good question about balance. And everybody keeps, I heard more than one person discuss balance. And it seems like the narrative is that people from the southern part of the country would like to see more balance from Norfolk. I would like to understand more what that balance is supposed to be, because I don't see very many schools, particularly schools from the South, providing the balance that they're asking for from Norfolk. I see, for example, a Southern University playing all kinds of great music as far as the winds are concerned. That music is college level music. I don't always hear college level music from Southern schools as far as the percussion section is concerned. And that's problematic to me. I don't understand how we can all sit here as college educated men and women and treat musicianship as if it's boring, as if you can't blend the two. I don't see very many schools who are doing that blend better than Norfolk State University. So I just want to kind of better understand what that balance is to you guys, because again, I don't think balance is showmanship, but 5-stroke rolls and 9-stroke rolls and, some of the basic things that, musicians who are percussionists have been playing since they picked up sticks. I don't think that's musicianship. And I would like to see all of our HBCUs challenge our percussionists to be musicians and still be able to be entertainers, because it's possible to blend the two and to do it well and to be clean, whether you're in the swag or whether you're in the MEAC. I think that there is an opportunity for improvement in that area. What do you guys think? I could tell just from some of the faces that I see, there are some people who may disagree, but I'm pretty firm in that, because I know that our students can play complex music regardless of what school they've gone to. And the reason why I know that is because I hear Southern wind instruments playing complex music, and I hear the same thing at Norfolk, and I hear the same thing at Bethune, and I hear the same thing at FAM. These schools are training their wind instrument players to play college level music. I don't see that happening across all HBCUs as it pertains to the percussion section. And I have a problem with that. I don't see all of these schools pushing musicianship and trying to improve. But the schools, that are, those are the ones that seem to be getting labeled as boring. But I don't understand why. So let's talk about it. Let's try to get more in depth. And I would also encourage guys to be honest, because I hear a lot of answers. They're great, but they're political. So let's just be honest and talk about it.
I think a lot. Go ahead, Quan. You good? Go ahead.
No, so I think you gave, first of all, you gave I think somebody got to mute their mic.
Somebody, yeah.
So I think first of all, you gave a plethora of questions that was really good. I'm gonna try to remember some of them, and if I forget one, just remind me, though, fam. So first of all, I think some of the limitations that you see in those specific schools that you mentioned, that's the limitation of their percussion instructor. So I agree. A percussion instructor, real talk, can limit a drum section. That's first and foremost. And so when one of the questions that you had mentioned, you said, could you have both blend and balance, entertaining for the crowd as well as technical playing for the percussionist that's in the crowd? Is that right, fam? I just want to make sure I'm right.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So I only could speak for my experience, like I say, of me marching for Prairie View, and then the spectating aspect that I see as a band director and a fan. So I think, first of all, when I was at PV, I think we did that, being honest. I think we had cadences that groove. I think we had cadences that were technical. We had cadences that were choppy. We had solos and whatnot that were technical, that had split parts, metric modulation, so forth and so on. We had that. Now, I can't speak for what MSD is doing right now, but I can assure you that I know for a fact Jackson State is doing some of the same things as well. But I think what the point that Cushion was kind of saying earlier was when it gets to preference, because I see in the comments some people were saying like, yeah, they playing, but I don't like the tuning. So then that goes into another aspect as well. I know for a fact the mother pluckers at Grambling is gritting, doing technical stuff on an upright tenor drum. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like when we say things like that, I think it goes back to the subjectiveness of preference. I know for a fact, and I'm gonna just say it, I think Southern University got some real talented players. Now, will they break out of their own tradition and really be put on the track? Because they used to every now and then, but they weren't being pushed outside the envelope. However, their band has been structured for 40 plus some odd years that they do play on 2 and 4 when it comes to their drum parts. That's just what they're known for. And unfortunately, that's their particular limitation. So that's why I say so. But what I must say is this: Southern University is a game changer HBCU that has so much influence to where it's kind of like they're the market brand of the SWAC. So when you see them, you think for the most part, all SWAC bands is like that. And that's why I say, if you see Southern is only like a tip in the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg for the diversity of SWAC drum lines. Grambling is different from Southern, just like real talk, Alabama State, in my opinion, is the most diverse drum section in the SWAC that really don't get talked about. And they chopping, they're playing, they have balance, they tune their drums a specific way too. So then it goes back, like I said, brother, to particular preference. Now, the comment that was made earlier about when PV bass drums was being played, Prof Ed would have put us out of band, like straight up, because it was a certain, he was like, Prof Ed used to say this: I don't want to hear you, I want to feel you. And that's what he told us. And so we couldn't play at a certain level. Now, when we, it was time to turn up and, make the people from Grambling, miss the field goal, they was like, beat the hell out the drums. And that was the first time as like a kid in the candy store, we went hard in the paint. But I think we was a drum section that had balance. And people don't even know this. PV used to use tonal bass drums too, the proper way. Because if you go to the old features, we did tonal bass drums. So that's why I'm saying I think, and I could be sincere about this, maybe I was ignorant towards, I'm gonna say, East Coast style of drumming prior to, but I have a sense of respect for it. And I think vice versa, because even, and this is just being sincere, many people from the East Coast feel like, well, shoot, boys from the SWAC don't read. So it's kind of like, just like we say it's boring or that it's a particular preference, it's like that same stereotype of, yeah, they playing on 2 and 4 and they groovy, but at the same time, they don't know how to read either. So I understand your point of view, but I think it's kind of like, it's a subjective thing. You may like drill music. Another person, he may like old school, New York hip hop for it. But I do believe that you should have a place for balance within your section.
So I just want to make sure that I set the record straight for everybody. Thank you, Quan. I appreciate your insight. I just want to make sure that I set the record kind of straight for everybody, and alleviate what may or may not be the perception of the $1 Million Funk Squad. So Mr. Bethea is an outstanding percussion instructor. You guys have said a lot of great things about him, and I echo those sentiments. He's outstanding. But let me be very honest. He wasn't writing most of the things that we played. That man over there, Dante Chambers, wrote a lot of things for us. Our percussion section was student driven. Many of the people that I played with, I marched from 2006 to 2009. And many of the people that I played with wrote on behalf of our line. Many of the things that we played on the field, in the stands, and features, that stuff was student written. So the area of opportunity that you guys are speaking out about, as it pertains to our percussion instructors, and having that be a place where a lot of schools could improve, I get it and I understand. Norfolk has always had a percussion instructor who's been very, very good, cream of the crop. However, our percussion section was student driven. Much of the things that you all heard us play were written by the same 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old kids that are at these other schools. You know, I mean, we're not getting this stuff wasn't all written by a 45-year-old man. We're talking about 19-year-old Dante Chambers. We're talking about 18-year-old Bernard Smith. You know, Aaron Armwood. These kids, these guys came in and they wrote for our line, and we played it. It wasn't written by a professional. So that's something that's congruent with what's being experienced at other HBCUs. And we still were able to be clean. It was still college level instrumentation. It was still college level music. It was still we were still expected to come up to that standard. All I'm saying is I would like to see more HBCUs do that. It sounds, and I'm just being honest, it sounds like an excuse that percussion instructors or lack thereof inhibit the ability of percussion students to be students. They go to school, they go to class. Oftentimes they're in the same classes as the kids with the trumpets that are playing trombone. I refuse to believe that the instructors at Southern University are writing all the music for the trombones, and not one student is picking up a pencil and getting some manuscript paper and writing for that trombone section. These are universities, guys. So
Right.
to ask these students to come up and be better, that's not asking too much of them. They can do it. We tell white folks that all the time. And I'm saying it again, like, we can do that. We can ask our students to be better. Like, that's not asking too much. So, I mean, again, just to reiterate, that's what was happening in Norfolk, Virginia at Norfolk State University. That's what continues to happen there. It happened before me. It's happening after me. And I know it can happen at other schools. Our students are not better men and women than the students of other HBCUs. I know that it can happen more, and I just want to see it happen. The musicianship can and must improve. I understand there are differences in styles. I get it. I understand there are different levels of expectations from school to school. I understand there are band directors who want that drum set sound. I understand all of that. But y'all not going to tell me that college students can't play college music in the percussion section, but they can do it in the trombone section. The sousaphones can do it. The clarinets can do it. But for whatever reason, because of style, but the percussion sections can't. I refuse to believe that our African American kids can't do that. I know they can't. So
I think what.
Hold on, right quick, question. Because I know. Hold on, right quick. I know a lot of y'all want to respond. So we'll do it like this. Cushion, I'll let you get it. Larry, and I'll let you get it. And then after that, Teddy, I'll let you get a final response because we got more guests coming in. So Cushion, Larry, and then Teddy, final response.
Bet. All right. So I think the disconnect, it's not. Let me see. Just forget it. What y'all are playing over there is top tier material. Hands down, do not pass go. What they playing cannot be touched. It is good. I just kind of feel, this is just my personal opinion, I feel like y'all cater to the percussionists only. My mama wouldn't know what a flam paradiddle whatever is, and she wouldn't care how clean it was. Do I want to sit there and watch that all day? No, I want to be entertained. So it's not the material, because the material is crazy. I appreciate it. I'm entertained by it because I'm also a percussionist as well. But again, I'm just thinking outside of my band uniform, outside of putting my sticks down. When you're at work, do you really want to sit down through a 2-hour seminar?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. Especially if it's about what I do for a living. Absolutely. Yes, I do.
Okay. All right.